I think it's better overall for Digimon from newer generations of series to come back into the newer series such as GhostGame. And there's a good reason for that. We can't just treat all the newer gens as if they just didn't happen. That Cross Wars was bad because toys. And that Atmon isn't Digimon because apps, grr. The newer generations of Digimon shows by Digimon Adventure 2020 and GhostGame didn't exactly take the world by storm, and potentially, some might say, nearly killed the franchise. But I think really who is in control of the franchise but the audience themselves, the fans who actually consume the product? Digimon series as years go by take many shapes and sizes and are not going to be liked across the board because they're so dramatically different. You need no pretense or no context to watch Digimon GhostGame, for example, because there is nothing logically necessitating like some universal power, some mysterious force which has to connect every single series together. Newer fans can partake in GhostGame with no experience of Digimon whatsoever. What's this got to do with newer generations of Digimon? Well, it helps having cameos of the newer gen Digimon in newer series to kind of spark interest in getting people to go back and watching the more forgotten about versions of Digimon, if you will. Cross Wars might not be to everyone's liking or to everyone's taste, however, it has some absolutely gleaming moments of which would stand out to even the average anime viewer, and I think having these little Easter eggs, embedding these seeds of memories from different Digimon shows long gone by, all the way from 2010 until now, is kind of a good way of getting newer people who might take some interest in Digimon GhostGame. For example, the episode with Hawkmon. If people loved Hawkmon, you might just tell them, oh, actually, there's Digimon 02, where Hawkmon features as a main Digimon protagonist. What about in this case, what if Shoutmon appeared in Digimon GhostGame? Shoutmon's whole spiel is about being this just king of Digimon and showing great pride in being a benevolent king. And that reigns true from Cross Wars to Hunters. So what if in GhostGame he embodies a different character who looks after a small community of Digimon, for example, in the real world? You know, they could easily map that across to where new viewers might find Shoutmon and think, I quite like this Digimon, and it just so happens there's going to be a whole series with Shoutmon as the main character that you can watch. Whether you like Cross Wars and you like Atmon is kind of irrelevant. There is something quite special with the idea of reinventing an older character to include in a newer series to get people to go back in case they like that character. Do you get what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to just Kobe every single Digimon from the newer generations just into the trash can to be forgotten about forever. Trash! It makes no sense, really. And in fact, I'll tell you a little secret. I haven't even seen Atmon yet. That is the one thing I haven't touched on. However, if, for example, they had Offmon in Digimon GhostGame, who was a really cool character and had a role to play, I'd think, I want to see more of this Digimon. Where can I find that? Oh wait, there's a whole anime series with Offmon as one of the main characters. I think it's a really genius way of getting people to go back and reappreciate some of the newer generation shows which didn't get as much light as Adventure and Tamers. Whilst definitely having the same level of quality in there somewhere, people just liked to overlook that. Recycling different main character Digimon or even villains is a great idea because it encourages maybe new viewers to explore the grander franchise in many different fields. I think it's wasteful just to forget about all these new gen Digimon. They all certainly have redeemable qualities. Whilst they're not necessarily involved in the story that you like, maybe somebody else will like it in the future if they were simply introduced to these concepts of Digimon, such as Shoutmon, to then prompt them to go back and watch series such as Cross Wars. I think it helps uplift the entire franchise rather than just add emphasis to GhostGame, but I have to stress there's not much point in creating too much brand new junk volume Digimon that newer fans aren't really going to take much of a liking to. Because if they do like these new Digimon, it's only going to be the very surface, like how they look, for example. Whereas if you bring in Digimon from different newer gen series which haven't been explored as much or haven't reappeared in different ways, Galmon, then if on the off chance people like those Digimon, they're a different series for them. I think that's a much better long-term strategy than just generating infinite new Digimon that don't really have any striking impressions left upon people. Can you imagine if some new viewer found Shoutmon in Digimon GhostGame and they loved Shoutmon, or for whatever reason, maybe it's something he did in GhostGame, sacrificing himself and whatnot? You can only imagine their reaction when they find out there's a whole 2 animes with Shoutmon as one of the main characters. I mean, heck, Bokemon's a good example. Bokemon's sacrifice in episode 13 of GhostGame, spoiler alert, a little bit late for that, it prompted people all over social media to show appreciation for Pokemon, which included Pokemon from Frontier, and also there's Pokemon from Digimon Dreamers too. Newer gen Digimon deserve more love, irrelevant to the story they belonged to, because it could be something so special for somebody else. I think that's the thing to bear in mind. I just wanted to provide this commentary mainly because it's so easy to identify Digimon with Adventure and Tamers for how much nostalgia and kind of Gen 1 mentality that surrounds them, when really things like Appmon and Cross Wars are just as valid as they are. And if Digimon fans start abandoning them, then what would incentivize other anime fans to take us seriously if we're kind of dropping our own shows? And Digimon doesn't really look good, does it?
That's true, and yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's pretty true.
But I thought I'd just pick your brains with that one. What do you think about all this? And my question to you is, which new gen Digimon from kind of Savers up until Appmon would you want to appear in Digimon Ghost Game, and for what reasons? Leave your comments below, as I'd love to read them and try to reply to them. I've been a bit slow recently, but I will try. And please leave a like, as it helps other people find my video and my channel, and Digimon fans can make their home here. Thank you so much for your time, but most importantly, take care.